Can we start with Kuzi?
Sure.
When did you see the possibility of maybe trading him for an asset?
I think, we had numerous conversations with Carolina about possibilities on how it might look, and it evolved over 4 or 5 days into what happened today.
So it started after you waived him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think waiving him the idea behind waiving him was to generate something, some kind of change. So ended up happening to go to Carolina.
Because then the rest of the league knows that you might be willing to.
Yes, exactly.
Gotcha.
Not you can't do it verbally, but everybody gets a better understanding of where we're at.
Were there other teams sniffing around, or was Carolina?
No, I think Carolina was the main one.
Okay.
Just a follow-up on Kuznetsov. Everything he had been through with the team, the high of 2018, inconsistencies, etc. But what a player in terms of franchise history. In a couple of minutes here, can you put in perspective kind of what he meant to this team and having to turn the page after a difficult season?
Yeah, I mean, he means a lot. The goal. I mean, everybody's going to remember the goal, the championship, the play in the playoffs. I mean, he's a fun guy. He's entertaining. Skill level and skating were off the charts. Yeah, I mean, he's provided entertainment for our fans. He's done a great job for the organization. We're going to miss him. I mean, we tried everything we could at the end to get it back on track, and unfortunately, this is where we ended up.
Moving on from Kuznetsov before Lars Eller, Penguins are doing this with Jake Gensel. How hard is it kind of emotionally to know that it's the right move to do for your hockey team to kind of reset and kind of move forward while also having these links to your team?
Yeah, I think it's hard. I mean, especially when you win together, you don't want to. I mean, there's a connection emotionally from the fans, from management, from coaches, and you just don't want to let that go. And then sometimes it's just circumstances, create a situation where you have to move on. There's a business, there's a cap, there's money, there's aging, there's all these things that come into it. And I think any organization would have trouble letting go players that are popular and that have been successful. You've been successful with.
Any concern on trading him within the division? Is that a real thing, or is that just something fans and media talk about?
No, I mean, I just in this situation, no, because I think it's you want him to have a good opportunity so he can continue his career and get back on track. And we're not at the same spot as Carolina, where we're trying to get younger and develop some young guys, and they're adding to their group. So it's just it should be a win-win for everybody.
When we met with you several days ago, you mentioned that you were hopeful of trying to make a deal like you had last year for Rasmus Sandin. Did you get close on anything?
I mean, we tried a couple. We identified a couple players that we liked, young guys, and tried to be aggressive on our offers for them, and it just didn't materialize.
The draft picks you acquired in return for MacLellan was in kind of shift that process of getting under more to the summer or future?
Yeah, I mean, we'll continue to do that. Sometimes there's an opportunity at the deadline where somebody might be able to pop 3 free, and we just, didn't happen this year.
I know obviously you didn't have to trade Charlie Lindgren, but how tough is it to trade goalies at the deadline? It seems like there's not a lot of value in goalies. It's an important position, but at the deadline, it's hard to.
Yeah, I think it's I think it's tough for teams to bring in new guys, assimilate and learn how to play a different style or a different team. Just in general, not specifically. And I think if your goalie's running hot for you, you're not moving him. And then if he's not running hot, nobody's looking to trade for him. So consequently, I don't think they happen much at the deadline.
Were teams interested in players that you did not trade? Did you get a lot of traction on other people?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have good players. I think there's a lot of inquiries about our guys because teams like them and they're valuable guys.
People keep taking them on waivers too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So you guys used up all 3 of your salary retention spots. Did that preclude you from doing something else, or
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
How close were you guys to? It didn't materialize, but how close were you guys to trading some of those guys that ended up staying here, like Granner, Gowder?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't actively look to move the players. I mean, we listened to some inquiries on them, and if something made sense, we might have considered it more. And I think our goal was to do the things we had to do on the trades and try and keep our team together as much as we could.
Brian, a year ago was similar in terms of unloading veteran pieces outside of a playoff position, but still in the mix. Does it feel similar to a year ago, or does it feel different?
I think it feels a little different in that we got, Lapierre's playing better, McMichael's playing better, Sandin is established, now we'll have Alexiev in. I think we have more than a few young guys. I think we're growing that part of it, so I think the situation is different.
Energy-wise, I don't know if you have a grasp for that, but just as far as, I guess...
Well, I'd go to the game last night.
Yeah.
I think, all the young guys played well, and we had a big win. And, we'll see going forward here. I think we're still competing. I know the math doesn't support it, but if somebody falters in front of us and we keep winning, I wouldn't rule it out.
Do you feel like that emphatic win last night were the players trying to send you a message maybe ahead of the deadline?
Yeah, I don't think they care about me. No, no. It's a great win, especially when you see young guys playing well and the energy and like Spencer said, the execution seemed to be more plays, more high-end offensive plays. So that's exciting to see. I think it's something to build on, and the right guys are doing it.
You anticipate Miro settling in here, or is that too premature to say?
That's premature. I would anticipate he gets some games, and he'll be back and forth over the rest of the year.
Are there some other players in Hershey that you'd like to see now?
Yeah, depending on what happens with our roster and injuries, there's a few guys down there that have had success that we might be able to get in for a few games.
Ethan Frank, is he one of them?
Yeah,
Is
he's
he
one of
healthy
them
again?
for sure. Yeah, he just came back.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Clay Stevenson, is he another player?
Yeah, he's had a great year. Excited about what he's going to be and his trajectory.
You mentioned not being in the same place as Carolina. Obviously, they're trying to add for a run. I'm curious what you make of as a GM when you're trying to go make a Stanley Cup team. What you make of kind of all the movement around the NHL the last, I guess, really 6 weeks. So everybody seemed like they added something.
Yeah, I think if you're a team that's contending for the cup, I think the players want your management team to be aggressive, assertive, and get as many good players in as you can. It's a long haul, and teams load up for the playoffs.
Nick Dowd, are we going to see him soon?
Yeah, hopefully. I think he needs he's non-practice jersey. As soon as we've had trouble getting him into a full-scale practice, so I doubt it for Chicago, but after that, more than likely. Oshie, we'll find out here tomorrow. He's close too, I think.
Of getting back into the practice with the guys?
Yes, right. We just need some practice, some full practices. He won't play. I don't think he'll play against Chicago.
And Faravari, where is he?
He's close too. Yeah, I would anticipate after Chicago.
Let's get a big picture on Oshie approaching 1,000 games. Not sure if we'll see him between now and then, but you must have an appreciation for everything he's been through, his body and the wear and tear that he takes. You've seen guys hit 1,000, but anything different with it being TJ hitting 1,000?
Yeah, you the way he plays. You cheer for the guy. His character. He plays hard. He's not the biggest guy in the league, and he's played a hard 1,000 games. It's not. There's an easy stretch in there. The way he goes about his business, it's not easy to get to 1,000. So I have a lot of respect for him getting there.
Were you hopeful going into this deadline of maybe getting a first-round pick for Anthony Mantha or for another player? And did fewer first-rounders move than maybe you?
Yeah, it didn't seem like the market was there for first-rounders, just in general. I think a lot of the contending teams were the same teams last year, too. They spent a lot of draft capital and prospects. So I think, the way we analyzed it was, it was going to be tough to get full value on players because, you weren't having as many bidders as you might normally would if everybody had all their draft picks still.
One UFA that you didn't move was Max Pacioretty. What do you kind of see for him down the stretch and maybe into the future?
Yeah, I think he's as he's played more, he's gotten better, and he's produced fairly regularly here. I think he's settling in and found a good spot. I mean, I thought he had a good game last night. That was a good line. So same as we've been going here.
Good. All right, thank you.
I have one more question. Sorry.
God.
So you scratched one RFA off the list this week.
Yes.
You got a couple more big ones, McMichael and Mallenstein. Well, where do things stand? Are you starting to talk to those?
We'll start to talk here as the season finishes up. We haven't talked just in general, initial conversations with both their representatives. That's it.